All right, so we'll get started. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to CAS 360 Level 1 session. My name is Jennifer, and I'll be your trainer for today, together with JX, who is my co-host. JX will be doing the first half of our CAS 360 Level 1 session from lesson 1 to lesson 2, and followed by I'll be covering the lesson number 4 and lesson number 7 onwards for this training session. So just a very quick housekeeping matters as well, that this session is recorded, so all attendees for this training will be on mute. If you have any questions, kindly post your question in the Q&A section of your Zoom toolbar. This function can be found on your Zoom toolbar. Click on More and click Q&A to post your questions as well. So we will try to answer your questions on the specific topic that we're covering along the way as well. So in today's topic, we're going to cover on the basics of CAS 360 and getting started to get you ready to use the software itself. So in lesson number 1, we're going to learn how to get started. In lesson number 1, we'll learn about how to navigate your toolbars, your resource hubs, how to set up your accounts, navigating between CAS 360 software and your MyBGL portal when you're getting started. I'm also going to learn how to invite other users into the software as well. In lesson number 2, we're going to learn, once you've set up your accounts, we're also going to cover on loading onto the companies, onto CAS 360. There are different ways of onboarding your company's data, whether it's going through your company registration, if you're onboarding a new client, engaging you as the CorpSec and you want to add them, go through the whole company registration process, or manually adding them onto the software, or also by purchasing the BIS profile data from from Accra onto the CAS 360. We're going to learn that onto your lesson number 2. In lesson number 3, we'll learn how to navigate your company address changes. And in this topic, we're also going to cover on how do you manage your global contacts and address as well. So there are ways to navigate or manage your data, particularly if you have some changes for the contacts and addresses for your contacts or your companies as well. In lesson number 3, we'll cover also the location of the register kept and how we do a company registered office address changed and prepare the documents. So all this lesson number 1 and 2 will be covered by my colleague JX, who is my co-host as well. In lesson number 4, we'll cover on officer changes and members changes. So we're going to learn lesson number 4 and 5. We'll cover this topic on how do we do a basic officers changes, which includes your appointment of officers, resignation of officers, and also cover on learning how to do some share transactions as well. Along the way, as we process some of the company changes, we're also going to introduce to you different features within the document productions, which includes your document review and how to set a document reminder as well to your client as you process the documents in CAS 360. We're also going to cover on the lesson number 7 on the topic on company name change. So these are also one of the common topics in CAS 360, where we learn on how to prepare the company name change. So I apologize, this will be covered in lesson number 6. Company name changes in CAS 360 and how we prepare those documents. And lastly, your documents. So in CAS 360, when you are preparing all these respective changes and exporting all those documents, we are able to keep a copy of all the company changes documents into your company documents and global documents as well. Now I'm going to share a link into your webinar chat. So hopefully everybody can see that. So I'm just going to quickly show to you that this is the link that will allow you to access into the manuals as well. Once you get the link, you will see there's a bookmark over here. This helps you to navigate as well. So I'm going to hand over to JX, the first three lessons of today's CAS 360 Level 1 to cover on the basics of managing the company data and onboarding your company's data in CAS 360.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Jax Wong. I'm also the account manager for some of the Singapore account. So I guess some of the attendees today might have met me, or maybe we have a phone discussion, or maybe we have some conversation from the email. So I will be assisting Jennifer today to cover the three lessons that she mentioned just now. So let me have a quick share to my screen. As you can see from what Jennifer has shared in the chat box, you should be able to view this document, the module for the level 1 training, which include all the content that Jennifer has been shared to you guys just now on the different lesson, and you can always click into the topic for you to have a quick setup to the different content. You can also refer to the bookmark here, and you can always navigate yourself to different topic whenever I'm going through the training and also introducing you to different features or the function from our software. And now I will be starting off with the lesson one, which is getting started. So basically, this session will show you step by step through the process of getting into our software setup and also ready for your firm to be start using the features inside. And inside this getting started, we will be including all the content in the overview, including signing in, navigation, resource hub, notification system, email subscription, setting up a registered filing agent, and also how you can do all the invite user and also user role, which you can be done in a portal. So let us go into our login into a software. So beside that, you can refer to the module that you might have downloaded. So this is the link whereby you can directly go into our login page directly to our software. So you might want to bookmark this so that usually when you want to access to our software, you can always go through this link and you can directly jump into this one. And basically, you will need the access whereby the account owner has to be inviting you as the user, and then you will need to do all the setup, including having your email verified and also setting up the uh, password and also MFA, multi factors of authorization. So whenever you got invited by the account owner, and then you will be easily get into our software with all the login ID and also password. Now, this is the overview of how our software will be looking at. And after sign in, this is all the company that we already key in earlier. If yours is a new account, basically this area, it should be empty, and you will need to import or include all the your company clients that you will need to key in the data. So later I will also go through on how you can add this company data inside. Now I will first start off with the navigation. So inside here there's a lot of toolbar whereby it will include different features. For the first one that you can see, so this is the company selection. So whenever you have more company data that you already import into our software, basically here is where you can see all the company, including the company that you key in, or including all the company that you do the incorporation here. So these are all the company that you can do the selection. And also here you can see that there is a once filter where you can do all the selection. So let's say if we are focusing in the Singapore jurisdiction, so here are all the company that is under this filter. Also, you can see that there's some of the alert filter whereby some of the company might be in the AGM due or AGM due date pass. So you can also filter all the company using all these different filters, including the annual return alert. So here is how you can see uh, all the company here. Next, we will go into different features here. So this one is the trust management, and you can use our software to do your trust management here. So you can basically add on your trust, and then we can always use these features to do so. For the next one is the contact or address that you will needed to key in when you do the company data key in. So from here, you can see that this is a global contact whereby you can either add in the contact in a once, or maybe you can do it whenever you do the company data input. So in this contact list, or we call it contact book, you can see that these are all the individual contact or company contact that we already input into our account for us to do all the contact details fill in whenever we do any transaction or any appointment or any company data changes. Later, I will also show you how we can do it while we are doing all the changes or while we doing the transaction. We can always add in the contact halfway when we doing the transaction, or we can always do the advanced uh contact add in before we do any changes. So we can do it both way. And this is also the similar logic whereby the global address contact global address book, we have the same arrangement for all the address that we can added in advance for you to do easier arrangement whenever you do the company data changes. So these are all the company address or any address that you have key in into your account, and this is how you can look like. Following on, This is the return, the annual return features in our software. So when you see here, these are all the company that you can see that you can always refer to the financial year date or AGM due date to do the following arrangement. In these features, you can always see that we can always filter out the date, and then you can always refer to the date that you needed to prepare for the annual return that you needed. So whenever you filter the date, these are the company that you will need to do the annual return, and then basically you will just need to uh, do a prepare document, fill in all the date, fill in all the relevant data, and then you can always prepare the document. So I will go quickly to all the two first, and then slowly in different lesson, we will go into the details one by one. While for this multiple change navigation or these features is that you can always do or adjust multiple changes in one place. So in these features, let's say that you got a director that has different company holding different position in different company. Whenever the director has some maybe contact changes or address changes, you can always change it in using these features so that you doesn't need to go to change his details one by one. So this is how we can do the multiple changes from these features. This free form basically is features whereby you can create your own additional document or minutes or resolution. So what we have in our software basically is mostly use template or all those required template from the Accra. So whenever some of the client might be asking, is there any function that you can provide for them to have their own letter or own document that they needed to add into our system to proceed their additional document request. So this is the feature whereby you can always add your own document or your own template and to be included in our software so that you can proceed to produce the additional document that you needed. So this is the freeform document. While for the next, this is the document features whereby you can see all the document are stored here, and this document are the document that you produce using the software from your account. So basically, you can see that from the list of document me and Jennifer has been generating from using our account on our software. And you can always do the document review, whereby you can check the status, the due date, or how you can see all the trace number from here. You can also see that we have different document alert filter here, whereby you can always filter out which document are I mean due or you need to take look into proceeding the next step. So we have different alerts here so that you can filter out the document that you needed for the following action. For the message, you can see this is the global message screen to track all email and SMS sense from our system, including how you can do the manage or update our automated messaging from Cash 360 to your client. So this is all the SMS whereby you might needed to do the message send out or email send out. For the report, our software will allow you to prepare a range of report which you can easily summarize and clearly display all the information across your company. So you can see that you can have our software to download the full company register set, or maybe an annual return listing, or maybe company listing. So this is how our software can help you to combine and do a summary of the company listing whereby you need to do a review or maybe a checking on certain details. So you can always export it in Excel or a PDF, and then I will just give you a quick look on how it will look like. So basically this is how it will look like. And all these company listing included here are basically the company data that you included into your software or into your account. And this is how it will show. Okay. And definitely we have more report that you might need to explore and to see that which document or which report that you might require to enhance your current workflows. Moving forward, you can see that there's a setting here. For this setting, you can do the setting for your document template, email template, SMS template, email setting, electronic signing, automated reminder. So for this setting, yeah, this is all setting or features that you can manage. So I will quickly go through a few. For email setting, basically is email and email template setting is basically whereby you can set some of the email that you wanted to send from our system to your client, and then there are certain template that we already have some default one, and you can always adjust here or create a new one to update, and then the system will always trigger whether which template that you would like to send to your client, similar to the SMS template. While for the email setting, you can see that these are the default email address that our system will send to. So you can always toggle this out if you want the reply to address whenever our system stand up, and then for your client to reply to be the user email address, which is you. So these are all the settings that you can play through our software here. And the automated reminder here, you can always see that for Singapore jurisdiction, you can always set the reminder a 90 days, a 60-day before AGM. So this is all you can do the setting, and then you can add on the reminder as you wish. So next, I will explain more about this global search function, whereby this global search can allow user from any screen to search and navigate to any company, trust, contact, or document. So I will just show you what we can do from here is that whenever you key in any company name, so this is one of the company that we already key in earlier. So whenever you click on, this is the company uh, selection, and we select into this company. These are the layout that we can see, that we can see from the general details, and then we can have all the details inside. So if you want to go back to the main page whereby you can see all the company, you just click here, and then it will automatically go into here. Or let's say if you want to search an individual contact, you just search Jennifer, and then it will came out from the search result. So this is the contact that we key in once, and we can have all the information from the contact that we created in our global contact book. So if we quickly jump into this section. Okay, so we have covered all the tool or all the features that we can have in our software, and also including the global search. Now we can move on into the app switcher. For the app switcher, you can see that we can always switch into different app by having this app switcher here. And if you are aware of MyBGL is a platform whereby you can do the online administrator setting, or is a portal for our client, our BGL client, to manage your account details with us, including viewing and downloading your invoices, to manage your subscription, or to update your payment methods. So this is whereby I would say a back-end portal or a back-end setting you can manage to your account. So let's try how we can do the switching. So yeah, so when you click it, so basically this is the MyBGL, whereby you can access to your billing, to your contact list, to your product information, to the payment details, and you can always use MyBGL to register for our upcoming events or training. Also, if you are an account owner or an admin for your subscription, you can always go into user, and then you can invite your colleague or your team to be able to access to CAS 360. So this is the platform whereby mainly the account owner can be accessed to, and then you can always do the invitation from here. So if you are still not able to access to CAS 360, basically you will need to inform your account owner to invite you as a user or as an admin for your subscription, so that you will be able to receive the email invitation, and then you will need to do the account setup for you to able to access to Cash 360. Or maybe if your account owner invite you as an admin, and then you will be able to access to MyBGL or this user setting portal as well. And if you are an account owner or an admin, you can always do the role setting as well. So you can adjust that what kind of user setting that you would like to set, and then what are their roles and what features or what function that they are able to use or unable to use. So these are all the settings that you can go through one by one whenever you want to adjust the role setting. Okay. Then when we back into our app switcher, you can see that there's an integration here. For this integration, basically, we are doing all the integration platform for our digital signing. So we have integrated two digital signing. One is DocuSign, another is Fusion Sign, for us to do the document digital signing, whereby we can directly send out the document to our client and then have our client to sign back with digital signing. So this is the digital signing integration to the digital signing subscription that you have. So whenever you want to have any digital signing, you will need to contact to the supplier, and then you will need to tell them that you will need integration to third-party software as well. And then they will provide you with the relevant or a suitable subscription. And then definitely you will need to have DocuSign account, Adobe Sign account, FuseSign account, and then you can easily do the integration or connection here. So this is one of the app that you can see that what kind of app that you already integrated or you already connected to our software. And for the learning channel, basically is something I would say more relevant to different jurisdiction, because for our Australian jurisdiction, we have more product, and then they will use this channel to give more knowledge or info about other products. So for Singapore user, I will highly recommend that you can always come to this icon for the help. And then you will look for the Singapore help, and it will lead you to the page whereby there's a lot of information, guides, step by step, and some of I mean most of the inquiry or question, you can look for the answer or the solution here. So this is a help page, or I would say a support page, whereby you can easily key in a keyword, and then this page will give you a quick answer, including all the different or relevant article whereby it might answer your inquiry or question. Also, you can always go one by one to have a different topic or different title of the question as well. And then you can see that all the articles included screenshot, included step by step, and included more details, whereby you can having the guidebook to go through your question. So I would say that this is quite a useful tool for you to explore into our software, and also our features, uh while not, I mean, referring to other training recording. So this is a quick way for you to look for answer whenever you have any errors, or whenever you need a quick answer for your question. And then you can see that there's a live chat here, whereby you can always include your question. I want to launch AGM. So definitely our support chat will give you some of the relevant info before they go into any deep or further answer. So if you found that this information might not be helpful, you can always talk to a human. And then the support chat will always assign our support team, one of our member from our support team, to assist you with your inquiry or question. So while the system is assigning an agent, or maybe, yeah, here you go. You can always see that we can have a real person or from our support team to assist you with all the inquiry. So this is how you can use the support chat for you to ask your question, to look for answer, to look for a quick guide to the features that you might not be familiar to. And then let's say if the support page or the help page or even the live chat or our support team couldn't help with the question that you are having, then you would like to launch a support call from our team, you can always go here. You can type in your quick question, and then definitely the system will give you some of the search result or quick answer first. And then if you still found that this information are not relevant or couldn't solve your issue, you can always lodge a support call. So whenever you lodge your support call, you can always type whatever question that I mean is giving you challenges or giving you not able to proceed to your work, and then you can include the screenshot that you might have be having, including all the errors or some of the issue that you might be facing, and then you can always send. And then you can select what are the issue that you are referring to, and you can choose whether you want our support team to contact you back with an email or a phone call. So if it's a phone call, then you will need to key in your number and then you just click send. So basically, our support team, after you have chose the method of calling you back or contacting you back, you should be able to receive their response as soon as they can. And but you have to be aware that our support team are mainly from our Australia team. So basically, they will contact you again within Australia working hours. So that we have done most of the navigation, including the app switcher and some of the support tools that you might need in your future. Now we can move forward to the next one, which is the notification system. So for this notification system, basically, this system is whereby you can receive the notification from annual review due, some of the regulator alert that you might need. So whenever that you will go through all the document generation, or you started with your own workflow, this is the notification whereby you can track some of the alert from the workflow that you have been doing. Next, I will show you the email subscription. Hold on. Okay. So basically, I would always suggest you that you can always turn on our email subscription so that you can always receive all the alert from our system, and then you won't miss anything important to go through your workflows. Now I will proceed to show you how you can do the setup for the register filing agent. You can always go to the setting, and then you can see that this lodgement or agent setting. So basically these are all the agent or the username that we have keyed in earlier. And then this is important for you to include all this information in a once, so that whenever you want to generate some of the relevant document or the required document from the ACRA, it might needed you to include the filing agent information. So you can always select jurisdiction, and then select the contact that might be already available in your global contact, or maybe you want to create a new one, including the address. So this agent address, I believe that you guys also understood that is important, because whenever you key in as this register agent address, it will be shown is in some of the document whereby the agent address is also the register agent address for some of the company document. So key in your email address. So now I don't have a valid. So now I don't have a valid filing agent number. So this is how you can do the register agent for this. And you can see that these are all the lists that we already added in. For now, you cannot do the authorization with ACRA yet, but previously we can do the authorization with ACRA, whereby whenever that you are already authorized with ACRA, you can always do the direct lodgement, or you can do any changes from our software to be updated to ACRA directly. But for now, you cannot do it because at the moment ACRA is still working with us to resume the integration between our platform, so that now we cannot directly do the authorization with ACRA yet. So whenever ACRA has opened the green light for us to directly go through their system, then these features will be resumed, and then we can always do the authorize, and then we can having the features whereby we can directly update or do the lodgement directly to Accra in the future. Okay, now let's look into our module. We have covered the signing in, the navigation, the resource hub, some of the notification, and also some of the setting. We will now go into how we can do the invite user and user role. So for this one, I think I might already cover that just now when I do the app switcher, but I will do it again so that some of the account owner could easily know that how you can do the user invite. So like what I have shown just now is that you can always go into the user here, and then it will link you into this page, and then you select the invitation, and then you can always invite your your teammate or maybe your colleague so that they can be invited into accessing this software. So you can always set their role for my BGL and also CAS 360. As I have mentioned just now, is that you can always do the role setting here. The role setting is whereby you can set what they are able to do, what they are not able to do. So, yep. If you have more question about the inviting user or the role setting, you can type in your question into Q&A section. Now let's go back to the next topic. So for getting started, any questions so far before I proceed so that I can show you again if some of the features that you might need to know more in the navigation or the resource hub. So let me have a quick look on the Q&A. Okay, so far, if everything okay, then I will proceed into how we can do the loading company onto CAS 360. So in this part, I will show you how we can incorporate a Singapore company and how we can prepare the supporting document for the registration. And also I will be covering how you can do the company data import from Accra using the search register features. So this is the company selection. So whenever you want to add in new company, or you want to do a new company registration, you can always do here. So I will start off with new company registration. You can select your jurisdiction. So basically, this is the company name that we would like to input. So I will just put today's and the trading as the company number. So you can select the company type. So whereby this is how you can always uh input all the information from having a new company registration here. So I will just give you a quick look on how you can register a company directly from our software. So after you have keyed in all the information here, basically like what you've seen just now is that whenever your information is not correct or the format is not correct, the system will always keep showing you the error that you might not able to do the finishing. So whenever you have keyed in all the required information with the correct format, and then you are able to proceed with the next step. Now that whenever you have done the information key in for the company incorporation, this is all the required document that you might needed for any submission or for maybe any review, so that you can see these are the company that we have for the company that we do the registration from our software. So whenever you click into this, it will directly show you the review version. So you can always check the document here, or if you would like to download it all. And then it will be downloaded as a single PDF, and you can use it to send to your client. So yeah, this is how we can download in a single PDF, and every document that is generated from that action will be included in a single PDF. So while we can see that this new company that we have just registered is pending registration, and then we can have the pre-encrypt document that you have seen just now, and also the post-encrypt document that after the submission, you can always have it. So since like what I've mentioned, we cannot have the direct integration with the Accra, so that you couldn't submit your direct registration through our system. And then since that you already have the print in crop document, you can always select whichever you needed, or maybe you might not need some. So these are the full set document that you will need for a new company registration. And then you use it for signature to send it to your client for review, and then you submit into Accra for a full registry. And then once the registration is done, you can always mark the company as registered. And then you will need to upload all the information that you might need to file it together, including all the signed document, or maybe the official document from the Accra. And then you will need to set the incorporation date, and then the UEN, definitely, and then you proceed. So let us have UEN. So yeah, so once you have a valid UEN, definitely you will be able to mark this as registered, and then you will be able to have the post encrypt document. So I will just show you the other example that we already did. So these are the document that we have for the post crop document. You can also download it all. Yeah, this is all the post-encrypt document that we have. As similar to what you have seen just now, you can always see the preview directly from this click as well. Okay. Now, this is how we can do the company registry. So, uh, let's say for this newly added company, if is done registered, and it will definitely be shown as here. So let me have so this is the company registration that you will be included here. And then let's say if I mark off with, and then you can proceed to see that this company that I just added is already registered, and it will be shown here. So this is the company that I just added with the company registration. And then these are the information that I just key in. If you need to complete more information in the future or any new transaction or company changes, so that you can do it directly with our software as well. As you already complete the company registration from the Accra, and you can always enter the UEN, the valid UEN, and then it will be included in the list for you to manage it. Now I have shown you the new company registration. Let's go with how you can add a company inside. I'm sure that when you do the onboarding, uh, our team or our onboarding team has been guiding you on how you can onboard your company data into our software. It's either you can key in manually one by one, or you can do it with a spreadsheet. You fill in the spreadsheet, and then our onboarding team did assist you to import into our system. So now what I need to show you is how you can do the search and import from Accra registry. So whenever you click that option, you will be automatically go into different features whereby you can pay to Accra, and then get the information, get the company data, and then it will directly import into our system. So this is how you can minimize the human error, and to reduce your time consuming for you to key in some of the data, including some company might have more shareholder, might have more directors. So this is one of the additional paid service that you can do within our software. So let's say if you are not interested in this, basically what you need to do is to key in one by one on the information that you have, and then you key in, and then you save. It will be automatically appeared in here as well, and then you will need to complete the information one by one. So let's say if you are going to use the search and import from Accra, you click continue, and then you can always search the company name. So while you key in the keyword, definitely the search function will link with Accra to see that whether is it any available company that is able to import from the Accra from the search and import from Accra. So whenever you have set up this, when you click import, it will directly show you how much you need to pay. You can also import multiple company together, and it will show that you will need to do the purchase with this amount of money. So basically, this is how we can do, and this will require you to do a payment setup in MyBGL as well. So for this one, whenever you select any company and you click pay, it's easily that you can go through into the search and import, and all these company will be added directly from the Accra. So you can see that here are the information from the Accra. Okay, I believe some of the user or the account owner might be interested for these features. So later we will share more of these features information into our chat box so that you can see it from our help page on how you can do this. Now I will quickly move into lesson 3, which is the company address changes. So for this company address changes, you will learn how to add and edit company address and to prepare the relevant form or document. And you will learn how to manage all the contact and also address information across all your company and also trust management in our software as well. So if you are referring to our module, so this is basically including all the step by step here. So slowly let me go into the one of the company that we can do. Okay. So whenever in the address, if you want to do any address changes, we can always do the changes here. We add in new address, select an address that we would like to change. If we already included this address in the address book, you can always search and select here. But let's say if we got nothing about this here, you can always add new. This is the features that I have mentioned just now. Whenever you do any transaction or you do any changes, you can always add the new address in the halfway. So this is what you can do. You can either use the search features, or maybe you can just choose the one that they suggest. Then you can just save. So this is the new address that we just added in while we doing the address changes or the new transaction. So if you would like to include all this as the address changes as well, you just include it all and then you save. And the system will automatically to help you to prepare all the relevant document for this transaction. So you can download it all and then it will be shown here. So you can see that, yeah, this is the address changes document that is generated by our system. If we go back to our information here, you can see that you can always view the history here. So these are all updated with the new address and we already generated the document. So whenever if you want to generate the document again for this transaction, you can always toggle this and then the system will directly generate the document again. And you can look into the history on how we do the history addresses and also with the date effective information here. So this is how we can manage the address changes and including how we can use our software to generate the relevant document. Now I would like to move on the next topic of how we can do the document production. So basically, at what you can see just now is that our software will automatically select the required document for selected changes, and you can always preview. I have shown this, and then you can just click the document name so that you can always preview the content, or you can just download it all, and then it will be downloaded into PDF file, and then you can always check the document on the document column for each company, or maybe you can always check it in the global document. So these are the document that I have generated today, and it will be always stored here and with the trace number so that you can know that all these are going by different version. You can go with the actual trace number for all particular document that you have created. And you can always see history or any information here. If you want to attach a new version or assign version into our software as a filing purpose, you can always attach using these features here as well. So if you go back to the company address, including the officer changes, but officer changes, uh, later Jennifer will go through with you guys on how you can do the changes and including how you can do the uh, document generation for officer changes as well. So we might need to go into the topic of location of register cap, and you will know how to add a location of register cap to your company database, and also the location of register that might be including any of the following. So these are all the address that it will be included. So we will go into here, select a company, and then go to address. It's similar to what we did, but this is referring to uh another type of location of registered cape. Let's say if we use this and we apply address changes to all as well. And then you can see that all are updated again. You can see that all are updated. And you can see that the effective date here as well. It will be included in this company database. Now that we can move into the global contact and global address, like what I have shown you just now, this is how you can add the address one by one, or you can always do the search. So including what we have done just now, this is the address that we can always add in using this global address book. So we can always add in a once, and then when we need to use it, you can directly search and we doesn't need to slowly key in the unit number again. This same to the contact. We can either include a individual contact or a company contact or a joint member or other entity. So I will just go with my information to add an individual contact. Let's say I will just put an address for my contact, and then I will just put a fake birth date, email address, mobile, just put the fake one, and then click save. So you can see that this is the new contact that I've just added in. And then this contact will be easily for you to set up. And then when you key in the company data or to adjust the officer changes or the shareholder changes or to appoint any position, you can always have this contact in the contact list whereby you can just select it without need to key in the information one by one again. And you can always, after keying in the required information, you can complete it with the ID that you would like to, maybe to include other relationship, business name, or any other information that you required. Add any information if you would like to, and this will be able to uh, give you more features to include more information. So far, I think I have done the information changes and also the contact changes or the address changes, including how you can change the address and then how you can add a new address and also how you can do the contact individual contact setting. I think, is there any question regarding the first three section for our training today? If there is no further question, I will just quickly let you see one more features on how you can edit a contact. So this is the new contact that we just added in. And then whenever you want to edit any information there, you can always, I will show you again. You can search the contact name. And then there's a three dot here. You can always do the edit here. And then when you click the name, you can always adjust from there, including the address that you would like to change. You can always do so. After you add into history, you can add another, and you can always change the mobile, edit the mobile, and you can always add any ID information. So this is how you can add the ID information. You can always edit your email address as well. Same as the global address. You can always edit the unit number if it's changed. So you can always edit here. Okay. I guess so far for the company address changes or the global contact or global address, uh, if there's other further information, you can always drop into the Q&A box, and then we will give you some of the guide or some of the information about your enquiries. So before I hand over to Jennifer, uh, I would like to stop sharing the screen, and then, yep. Jennifer will continue with the following lesson.
Hi, everyone. I hope that was an insightful information for the first part of the level one session. So we're gonna do a short 5-minute break. So let me just do a quick share screen. We'll do, hopefully everybody can see my screen. Do a quick one here. So we'll do a very quick short break. For those of you who need to take some calls, attend to some kind of queries and all that, you can take this time. And for those of you, if you have any questions, feel free to post your Q&A questions on the Q&A of the Zoom toolbar as well. So we'll see everybody back after 5 minutes. All right. I hope everybody is back from the short break. I know it's a bit of a short break. So we're gonna continue on with the rest of the lesson, which is on your lesson number 4 onwards. For those of you, if you're already in the manual, just gonna share it once more. You can easily, if you're looking at both the session and also the manual, you can just navigate into your bookmark section over here. And we're going to be covering the 4th lesson of today's session. All right, so now that we've learned how to add in the company data, managing your company information from the contacts to address, we're now going to learn different types of company changes that we can process within CAS 360. So the first one will be your officer's changes and learning to add a bank account as well. So this topic can be found on the page 72 of the manual if you are currently looking at the manual as well. Just a quick housekeeping matter. Again, you can just click on to the text in blue if you want to go specifically straight to the topic, as well as we go along with the training as well. So I'm just going to quickly log into the CAS 360. So again, this is the main dashboard. Earlier on, JX has already created a company through a company registration process. It has already been registered. So any registered company that has been registered will automatically be stored and saved under your company selection. So I think that was 18th of August. So if you type in 18th of August, you can see that this company is now within the company selection. So this is what we have done earlier on when we processed the company registration for 18 August, including adding in the officers, the shareholders, and so on. So in this lesson number 4, we're going to learn a very basic officer's change, which includes how do we appoint a new officers and also resign a officer in a company. So going back to company selection, again, what we'll do is we will select the company that you want to work on. For this exercise, we're going to use this that same company that JX has created, 18 August training. Click on that. When you click on the company, it will bring you to the profile. This is where you stored all the company data. And here in this section, we're going to select the Officers tab. So in Officers tab, you will see all the officers that you have currently have for these clients. For this case, when we first did the company registration, we have appointed Jenica Song as the director and secretary for this company. So the first thing we can do for the officers is we can appoint a officer in your Officers tab by selecting Add Officers and select the new officer. So earlier on, JX has already showed to you how to add in a new address for in CAS 360. So let's say if you have a new address, for example, I have a, let's say, let me think of Tina. Let's say Tina is a new officer and it's not in the record of your global contacts. You can simply create that new contact on the spot as well. All right. So once you have created that, you can click Save. That will be stored in your global contacts, stored over here, so that you can reuse the same contact in other future appointments or other companies as well. So that's the beauty about in the software. If the contacts is that person have multiple office holdings or shareholdings, you no longer have to manually add them again. You just need simply add them at one time and it will store into the software. So I'm not going to create a new contact anymore. I'm just going to simply select a pre-existing contact. So for example, I've got over here David Lim. And you can see David Lim, his information has been added over here automatically. And under officers, you had different types of officers that you can select as positions, including your managing director, secretary, alternate, and even nominee directors. So if you are processing a nominee director, for example, you can find it under the officers tab. For this exercise, we're just going to select a director first. Here, automatically this position status as appointed. We do have different types of position as well, but for this exercise, we'll select as appointed and click Save. So now we had two directors. One is Jenica Song as a director of this company, and the new one is David Lim as well. So we're going to add another new officer as well. So just to see one more time how we add a new officer. So let's put James, for example. Again, James Chan has already exists in my global contacts. I'm just going to select that person. And I'll also just show to you how we do a nominee directors as an example. You can select a nominator. For example, my nominator will be myself and click Save. So you can see in CAS 360, automatically the system recognizes that you've made two changes for 18 August company. So we've appointed a new director, David Lim, and we've also appointed James Chan as the nominee director. So what it does is the system, CAS 360 will automatically prepare the documents for you. So you can see at the very bottom of the screen, right over here, it will show to you prepare forms. When you click on prepare forms, this will bring you to this page, what we call the document production. As you know, that if you've noticed that we've seen this page a couple of times when we are preparing, for example, your company registration for a company, the system will automatically prepare based on the a company change you've done. So for this case, we are processing a officer change. So on the left-hand side, you can see we are appointing David Lim as an officer, and we're appointing James Chan as the nominee director. And in the set of document, according to this whole list of changes that we are doing right now, it will automatically prepare the documents required for this change. So we've got over here director's minutes and resolution. And when you click on the text in blue, this will allow you to preview the documents before sending it out or downloading the copy of this document. So this is an example of my template, my resolution. So this one I've customized this. We're going to cover the customization in level 2, which is on Thursday. So but meantime, we're just going to show to you how it will look like. So I've got over here my appointment of director and then followed by my nominee directors as well. So you can always quickly preview the documents before generating, downloading it or sending it directly to the client for signing. So this one will be your consent to act as a director. So all these documents, because you've done the process, you've keyed in the information, it will automatically fill up your ACRA forms. For this case, this is your Form 45. It automatically populates the information based on the data that you have set up under the officers. So this saves a lot of time whenever you're doing a officer changes for a company. So here, because we have a we've set up a nominee director, for example, this will automatically prepare a register of nominee directors as well. You've got also your nominee director's notice added in your document pack. So once you're happy with those documents, again, you can either download a copy, it will be stored into your desktop computer, or you can send directly to your client. So for this exercise, what we're going to do is we'll just simply download the document, and it will show you how it will display in a document pack. So here, just going to open. So every time you you process a company change summary or change, for example, the system will actually prepare what we call a company change summary report. It's quite similar to your Form 49, but instead of the old ACRA forms, we have your company change summary. So here it will include all the document packed that was switched on in your document production. You've got your members' resolutions, your Form 45, you've got your consent to act letter, your nominee directors registers, and also your directors register, and your notice as well. So you can see that has been these two new officers has been appointed as the current officers as well. Now, the next exercise that we're going to go through in this topic also is that in the officer, you can also change the status of the officer. So what we're going to do is we'll try to resign, or we'll do a resignation of another director, which is Jenica Song. And we can just simply change the status by simply clicking on the drop-down option and click resign. When you click resign, you will see that under the meeting, it will show to you as non-attendee. You can select if you want this person to still attend this resignation. Otherwise, the system will automatically select as a non-attendee. It will automatically also show to you the cease dates. And once you click on the tick options, again, the system CAS 360 will automatically switch on the toggle button. And you can see that the prepare forms has now appeared for you to prepare the necessary document. So here, because we're doing a resignation of a director, so it's going to prepare a resignation letter instead. So this is a very basic one. You can do customization of the letter. We're gonna go through this on Thursday during the level 2 session on how to customize your template. Meantime, this is what the system can provide. Again, you have your director's minutes and resolution for a resignation. And you will have your register of directors already updated to show that Jenica Song has resigned. So in this document as well, in document production, you have the ability to move around your documents by simply clicking onto the document, click and hold, and just hover to move around the documents if you want to change the order of the document as well. So once you've clicked that, again, click either send all or download all. You can just process. And again, as what JX has mentioned, every time you download all or send all a set of document pack in the document production, it will be stored into your documents as well. over here. So we're gonna go through this in a while, in a later topic today. So you can see right now that when I go to my page over here, my current officers, I have one director, one nominee director, and one secretary. Now, to be able to display all your historical officers, you can simply click on the filter by and select all. So this will display to you even the ones that has resigned as well. And to quickly download your registers for the officer, whether it's a director, nominee directors, or even secretary, you can always go to the option tab to select which officer register that you'd like to download as well. So that's for officer changes in CAS 360. Now, earlier on, if you have followed through the whole company registration process for 18 August, right over here, what you'll notice is that in the post-incorporation document, there's no what we call opening of bank accounts. So depends on your practice when you are processing the opening of bank accounts. You may include this resolution as part of the document pack for your post-incorporation. Now, in system by default, it follows a compliance process with ACRA that before you even prepare a post incorporation, you must have a UAN number before they allow you to process your post incorporation document. So, how do we get to prepare your opening of bank account resolution if it's something that you need to prepare as part of the post-incorp? So what we'll do is that we're going to go back to your company tab. And if you recall, the moment a company is already registered, it will automatically be saved in your company selection. So here, 18 August is already registered. And just going to select August train. And I will add in and select what we call relationships. So in the relationship tab, you have the ability to appoint whether your auditors, if you have an auditor, you can add in also your data protection officer as well if it's required, other positions. For this exercise, what we're going to do is we will add in the bank account. So bank account can be found under your relationships. So here I'll just locate, let's say DBS Bank, account name, account type, currency. We'll add in the branch number. If you have the SWIFT code as well. And we're just gonna put in a dummy number. Any additional details you can add in here as well, if you have any, and you can select the signatory for this bank account. So let's say, gonna put in David Lim. So you can add in a multiple signatory as well. So what it does is that CAS 360 automatically store that information and that will reflect into your company registration. So when we go back to your company dashboard here and you want to generate your opening of bank account, you can simply click on company registration, go to that company again, and click post incorporation. So when you click on post incorporation, so you can now see that the bank account opening minutes and resolution has now been part of the document pack. So you can now generate this document. So let's assume if you don't want to generate all these documents, reprint all that, you can just simply switch off the rest of the document. switch that off if you wish to. Or if, let's say, you wanted to reprint, prepare your post-incorporation documents with included of that this document, you can just switch on all yes for the document. But essentially, it will allow you to do your opening bank account. So here it's prompting me that I need a address for a meeting. So I'm going to show to you why this is showing. It's because in our global in our address, we don't have a meeting address appointed. So let's assume we're going to put address in a while. I'll put 1 Cecil Street. And you can also adjust your settings over here. If you wanted a resolution or minutes, I'll select as minutes. I'll set it as default. And I can also add in, if you're selecting a resolution, you don't really need a meeting address. For example, if you don't want to include the resolution date, you can include that in. Otherwise, you can leave it as it is. And if you don't want to date the document, you can just switch off the toggle button as well. So once I click on download all, you can see that this is my opening of bank account information. I switch on the dates. I don't want to date my my documents. And again, it will save into your documents, company documents as well. So that's how we add in the bank accounts. Now going back to your company, so I'm just going to select the same company that we have created earlier. So in CAS 360, you have the ability to also reprint the documents as well. So I think I'm just going to do a bit of a quick refresher. I think Roger JX has mentioned as well how to reprint. When you want to reprint a transaction that you already have a record, for example, let's say this transaction, I want to reprint it one more time. You can simply click on the print button over here. This will enable your prepare forms action to reprint the documents. So you can reprint as many times as you want. Just take note that it will create another trace number over here. It will create a trace number to show that you have reprinted this transaction. All right, so this is how we processed a officer's changes and also adding a bank account in CAS 360. Now, the next topic I want to go through is on your lesson number 5. So your lesson number 5 can be found on the page 81 of your manual. And we're going to learn different types of basic share transactions in this topic, including allotments of shares, transferring of shares, and we're also going to learn how to process a nominee shareholders and registrable controllers in your shareholders tab. In this topic as well, we're going to cover how to process a document review within your document production screen and how to set up an automated document deadline within your document production screen as well. So coming back to your company selection, we're going to select it in August. And in this time around, we will select the shareholders page over here, this shareholders tab. So because we've already assigned or set up a shareholder since the whole company registration process, the system will automatically show to you your shareholders. So in CAS 360 for Singapore, by default, it will show and automatically assume that it's required to maintain a registrable controller. If it's not required, you can simply switch off the toggle button. But this one is by default switch on, so you can easily process the documents for both registrable controller and nominee shareholder. So the first exercise that we're going to do under the shareholder is that we're going to do a allotment of shares. So in CAS 360, under your shareholder, we're going to select add transactions. And you can see we had different type of share transactions available. For this exercise, we will select allotment. So here we're going to select a new shareholder. So I'm going to just type in David Lim, for example. David's information will display into your process. You have a question called, are the shares held on behalf of another person, organization, or trust? If you have a beneficiary owner, for example, you can switch on this toggle button and select your beneficiary owner. Otherwise, we'll keep it as there's no beneficiary shareholder, but just to let you know, this is where you can add that information as well. So here we'll select a share class, ordinary shares. And you can, if you have a subclass, you can select in these feature as well. I'm going to skip this section. Let's assume there's no subclass. The currency is by default Singapore. So because you're using a Singapore license, automatically it will select the currency as Singapore. Otherwise, if you're using a USD, you can just change the currency. So here I'll type in the shares. I can select share payable, whether it's cash, otherwise, or no consideration. I'll just stick to cash for this time being. And amount of issued share capital. So this portion over here is something to take note as well. If, for example, this particular shareholder doesn't have an issued share capital, you don't want to issue it, you cannot leave it as blank. As if I were to save it, you can see that it will prompt you to add in the issued share capital. So how do we go about with this? So you want to make sure that you put in 0. All right. This is to allow you to save the information. So the system needs to recognize that even if there's no issued share capital for this particular shareholder, you still need to put a digit under the issued share capital. So any additional notes can be added here. And as you scroll down, you can simply see your share certificate details. Click that to expand, and it will show to you the type of transactions. Automatically, it issued a share certificate number 2 to this new shareholder, and you can just put the location. So if you don't want to add in this information, or if you have a unique number as well, you can add in the unique number. For this exercise, I'm going to just skip this information and just click save. So what you can see right now that we have just allotted new share for a new shareholder, David Lim, handling 100 shares. So you can hover the information of this particular share transaction as well. And again, the system automatically recognizes that you have a new change that happened to the company, which is a allotment of shareholder. So here we're going to click and prepare forms. And again, you have the summary on the left-hand side, and you can see on this transaction your allotment of shares. So if you click on register of members, it will show to you your new shareholder in your register of members. You have your director's minutes and resolution. And you also be able to process your share certificate as well. So a system default, this is the layout that we have. This is what the software follows in terms of layout. So I've got my resolution over here. So my resolution can be customizable. And if you have any, for example, your applications of shares, you can see that you'll have this copy of applications of shares, your allotment journal. And if you need to prepare an old ACRA form, for example, you can also process that old ACRA form. But you need to assign assign a registered agent. Usually, the registered agent that you will have to assign is your company's corpus, which is the CSP's corpus information. So instead of like the actual the person, the registered filing agent, is usually the registered filing agent is represented by based on the corpus. So just take note of that. So this is the old ACRA forms if you're still using the old ACRA forms as well. So by default, it doesn't switch on this. It's just an option for you as a user. These are the relevant ones. And again, I can just simply download the document or send to the client. So here I'm going to just simply send to the client. It will send to their email directly into their inbox. So again, if you prepare, whether it's download all or send all, right? CAS 360 will create a copy and store it under your company documents. Right? So that will be sent. And usually your document that has been sent out will be under your messages under Outbox. So you can actually preview the documents to give you an overview that what you have sent to the client. Because my digital signing has been switched on, it sends a digital signing link instead of a PDF copy to the client for digital signing. So that's how we processed a allotments of shares in CAS 360. Now, the next exercise in lesson 5 also is we're going to learn how to do a transfer of shares and process a automated document deadline. So here we're going to select the same company, 18 August. Again, we're going to just do a quick search into my list, click 18 August, and we're going to select a shareholders tab, going back to that same page. So this time around, we'll click on add transaction and select your share transfers. So here it will automatically process, provide you the share transaction date. If you have a different date, just add in that information. And we're going to select the shareholder based on the existing members in your company. So here, for example, I've got David Lim, and I'm going to select a new shareholder, for example, Marianne Chong, for example. So I've got 100 shares, and I want to transfer, let's say, 50 shares to this particular new shareholder. So you can put in, let's say, paid total of consideration paid 50. And let's assume that this new shareholder that has issued capital. I'm just going to put in, for example, a dummy information and certificate details. So the certificate details, it follows based on like a balance cert. So by default, the system will generate a balance cert. So the balance cert will be issued to the remaining balance amount for David Lim. And the next certificate number 4 will be issued to the new shareholder. Now, if you don't actually do a balance certificate, you can simply click on none and automatically the certificate number 3 will be issued to the new shareholder. For this exercise, I'm just going to select a balance certificate so you can see how it will look like. And if you have a unique certificate numbers, you can also type in your unique cert number as well. If let's say 3A, for example, and then 3B. Usually what we recommend is that you put in the unique numbers into this section here. So if let's say I've got my certificate number 4, it follows the system. If you have a example, we'll just test it out if it's working at the moment. We don't have any issued capital for that earlier on. Let me click save. So what you'll see over here is that you've issued certificate 3A, 3B. And once you click prepare forms, it will now prepare the set of documents for that share transfer. So here again in my director's minutes and resolutions, you can add in, you can see that there was a transfer of share between David to Marianne. And on my share certificate, you can see that in my share certificate, because I wanted to keep a balance certificate for David Lim, and the new shareholder will have certificate number P. So you can see I have a balance cert and the new share, the shared certificate to the new shareholder. So we had a question that went through, is the certificate number issued and the unique and the unique number in the shares is the share certificate. So depends on your practice. This is more of a question on the practice. If your practice has a very specific unique tracing number for the share cert, then you can put it in the ID unique number, right? But share certificate number is basically your issued share, based on the share cert number itself. So it's not necessarily the same. It depends on your practice. I hope that answers the question. So in this process, now before we download, I wanted to show to you this particular feature within the document production as well. In every document production, you will see this button over here, which is the up button next to download and send all. So when you click download all or send all, you will have this option to either download all and set up automatic document reminders. So here in the document production, you have the ability to set up a automatic document reminders to send to your client to remind them about this document. So here I'm going to select document reminder. Again, we don't have any meetings. So I'm just going to type in a new meeting address. I'll just leave document back. And if you want to display the passport details as well, you can just switch on the toggle button and click save. So how do we go about with that? It's essentially these ones are in your three dotted. So when you come across these things within the software, I will always encourage you to click on that because this will allow you to adjust the settings, whether of the document, preview, or edit. There's a lot more actions that will reveal in this kind of button. So for this case, it's a document related under notice of EGM. So this will allow you to adjust your notice of EGM settings. So here I'm going to click on, we're going to go back to this feature, select download and set up automatic reminder. So the system, once I click on download, it will download a copy of my share transfer document packed. And back in the system, it will prompt me to set up my automated reminder. So you can see this is the copy. Your share transfers from David Lim to Mary Ann, your share certificate, and also your share transfer form. So I'm just going to close this copy and go back. So once you come back to the software, it will prompt you that you can actually set a reminder to your client about this document. So by default, it selects the next day. If you want to set a reminder today, for example, I'm just going to select today's date and set it under a timing that I want. So right now it's 4:15, I think 4:12. We're just going to select PM, attach documents. Okay, so I think I'm going to have to put 13 instead. Make sure to attach the documents and type in your recipient as well. So I'm just going to put in my my address over here. I'll type in Mary Ann Chong. So Mary Ann Chong has already a information, and click save. So here you can add in another multiple up to 6 reminder to send to the client. And what will happen is that when I send that reminder to the client, you can see in my company documents tab of 18th August, you can see that pending reminder to be sent. So this will bring you to your pending outbox to show to you that you have a document deadline reminder to be sent at 4:13. So in the inbox of your client, they will receive a reminder about this document with the attached document as well. So I'll use an example over here. I'm just going to show to you quickly how it will look like. This is just a very basic. This one, if I scroll the way, I think I should be seeing a document here, right over here. You can see at 4:13 p.m. a document with my share transaction or transfer between one of my shareholders from David Lim to Mary Ann has been processed, and this reminder has been sent to the client. So this content can be customizable as well. We're going to cover this in level 2 on Thursday. For now, this is how it will look like in your client's inbox if you're sending a reminder, a document deadline reminder to your client about this transaction. So this saves you a lot of time when chasing after your client's documents. If you want to remind them that they need to sign it, you can simply send it directly from the software to your client's inbox. Right, so the next topic I want to go through Still on your lesson 5 members changes is processing your nominee shareholders. So we're going to go back to that same company, 18 August. Select shareholders. And in this page, we will select this button called nominee shareholders. So in the nominee shareholder, you will be able to see that you can select add a new shareholder, nominee shareholder, and you will have to add in the information of that shareholder. Let's assume I'm going to add in Marianne Chong, and we're going to select myself, for example. I'll be the nominator. I can select my position, and here you'll be able to add in appointment date if there's any cease date, and click Save and Prepare. So what will happen is currently that it will process a register of nominee shareholder into the system. And before we process that, I also wanted to show to you another feature within the document production called the document review. So this feature is really useful if, let's say, you want for your manager to review this document before it gets sent out to your client. So you can simply switch on this toggle button, and here you can add in a note to your reviewer. So for example, please check if I have selected the correct person. For example, and once you've set that up, you can see that the function over here, it doesn't allow you to download documents anymore. What it does is that it only allows you to send the document to the client directly. So before it gets sent out to the clients, it will first get sent out to your manager to review. So here, let's assume I'm gonna, as a user, I'm going to send it to my manager, click send. So here maybe I'll add it Jennifer, for example, my manager for review. Click send. I'll just switch off my digital signing for now. And then I'll add in. So we'll see who is the nominee shareholder. I'm just going to add in some email address that for now, click send. So in this document, this example is that this document will have the attached version, PDF version, when it gets approved and sent to the client. So here, an example, I'll click send. So here, I'll just click save. And let's assume I am the manager and I am in my CAS 360. So as a manager, I will receive a notification in my global documents. So I can simply click on global documents, and this will bring me to this page called document review. So the system is prompting me that one of my team members wanted me to review their work over here. And you can see review the documents. And it will show that this information. And as a reviewer as well, I can see what one of my team member has actually, what's the additional notes that my team member has added in. So here, as the reviewer, I can just review the information. And because I am a reviewer, I don't do the editings, and also I need to instruct my colleague who prepared the documents what are the changes that needs to be done. For example, kindly please change the nominee, like the nominee shareholder. This person is no longer the nominee shareholder, for example. So you can either approve the document or reject. So let's just see how it will show as reject. You click on reject, for example, as the manager. Now let's go back to the user who prepared the document. As the user who prepared the document, I will receive a notification to show to me that your document that you've just prepared has been rejected by your manager. So here I can click on view. This will bring me to my global documents, and I can view what my manager has told me that, okay, kindly change the nominee shareholder as this was no longer the nominee shareholder. And you can see that in the status, the document has been failed. To be able to see further detail, click on the actions, the three dots, and select the history. And this will display to you the whole historical trail. So you see that, okay, the preparer has sent it at this date and time, sent for review, but the manager has rejected it and it added additional notes as well. So this is how we add in or utilized your document review in your document production if you want to send your document for review to the managers. Now, the next topic and last topic in your members changes is processing your registrable controller. So similarly, this feature can be found in your shareholders tab. So we're going to select this tab again, shareholders. And this time around, what we'll do is we're going to select registrable controller. Now, before you proceed with that, maybe some of you have manually added the company onto CAS 360. And in this section, you want to make sure that this particular toggle button over here has been switched on. Because generally, when it's switched off, this will not allow you to add in the registrable control data onto this company. Because it needs to maintain, we need to switch on the toggle button, and this will allow you to add in registrable controller. So here I'm just going to click on add in registrable controller, and I will just add another person, for example, maybe James. Select the position. You can add in the other notice, date of notice received, and click save and prepare. So here, the system will process the documents for you, which includes your registrable controller, the registers, and your confirmation letter. Now, what you noticed here as well is that the other notice, the notice has not been included because during the process of data entry for registrable controller, it didn't have a portion where you can select the notice. So we're going to do that in a while. But again, we're going to select this download all just to process the document that you have a registrable controller. Now, how do we add in or process the notice? So again, going back to your registrable controller, we're going to select registrable controller, and this time around, we're going to select print registrable controller document. So as you click this option, this will prompt a question to generate a notice to send to the controller, switch on the toggle button and select your notice. So add in your notice over here. Let's say Liana, signatory capacity. Let's say it's the filing agent, or let's say I will just use the directory, and this will automatically recognize who are the directors for this particular company. So you can add as many notices as you want as well. If you're processing to a multiple registrable controller, otherwise you can just delete that if it's not necessary. And here you'll click on prepare documents. Now you will see that in your document production, this will now include your registrable controllers, confirmation letter, and notice of controller. So again, we can either send this directly to the client, and this will send directly. So my digital signing is switched on, so it will directly send to the client's inbox for signing. And again, CAS 360 will create a copy of this document as well. So you can see on my message, it should go under my outbox. It will show to me this is the document that has been sent to delivered to my client. So that's how we processed a register of registrable controllers and nominee shareholders in CAS 360. So all that can be found in your shareholder tab. Right. So any questions so far for this particular topic? Otherwise, I'll go to the next topic, which is how to prepare a company name change. So in CAS 360, again, we're going to select the same company that we work on. So these are one of the common company changes as well that is available within the software. And we're going to select the same company, August Training. And to prepare the company name change, when a company that you are managing or you're processing needs to go, does a rebranding, you can simply click on the name registration tab. So here you can select add name, and here you have the option changed company name, business name, previous company. So if you have any previous company name previously, you can also add in here. Otherwise, we will go straight to changing the company name for this firm. So when you go through the company name change, you have a bit of couple of prerequisites as well. If the company has obtained a charity, obtain approval from registered with the additional limited, and add it your proposed name. So let's put in August 18 training. You can select your suffix. Here, if you want it to be, let's say I want it to be capitalized, because I'm not capping, you can simply put a caps lock if this is your preferred. refer to authority, and click Save and Prepare Documents. So as you click on Save and Prepare Documents, this will bring you to your document production to prepare your change of company name. So here we've got your director's minutes and resolutions, your members' minutes and resolution. And as you click on those text in blue, this will allow you to preview. So in CAS 360, when you see a text in blue, you can either preview or edit the content. So for this case, this is a document. So a document that is in text of blue allows you to preview the document. So again, you can just simply download this document. If you have any external document that you'd like to add, for example, over here, you can just add in another document, additional documents you can see right over here. That will include in your document pack. So here, I'll just click on download all. Again, my meeting is not over here. I'm going to show to you quickly how to address this particular notification. I can leave it blank if I wish to. Click OK and click download. So meeting address again. And click download all. So here I have my document packed right over here with my change of company name to August 18 training. This copy is stored into my global and company documents. And as we go back to your name registration, you can see that is pending. This company is pending until approval from ACRA. You can also remove the pending status as the option. So a good practice is that whenever you see this eye icon onto your, whether it's a contact, your shareholders, or the status, quickly put your mouse over to show the additional notification in that. So here I want to quickly change and remove the pending status. So if I click saved, the effective date will be today's date for the change of address. And you can see if I were to type in 18 August, it will show to me this is the previous company. So let's say I'll go back to my main dashboard, and let's assume that I still remember my clients based on the old company name. You can see that when I click onto that based on the old company name, it will automatically bring me to my name registration page to prompt me that, hey, you have already changed the company into August 18. So this will also display into your global search. So if I were to go back to my company selection, click on the company, and I type in 18 August, I can no longer find my 18th August training. But if I type it August 18, it will now show me the company with the new company name. So here I can just click on that. Yeah, and if there's any new processes that you need to process, then you can just remember and that you have changed the company name for this company. So this is how we process a company name change in CAS 360. All right, so the last thing that I want to cover is on your page 114 of the manual onwards. If you're in the manual, it's on your global documents. So we're going to cover the difference between global documents and company documents. So if you recall, whenever we generate, whether we export out the document out of the software or you send the document directly to the client, it will create a copy and a folder of those documents. So an example, if we're going to go to August 18th, this company that we're working on, and I select this tab, Documents, the documents will show to me all the documents I have prepared specifically for this company. So you can see August training. These are all the companies that we have processed that we have done. We also create a trace number, and right over here, again, a good practice that whenever you see something in blue, always click on that. This will allow you to preview the content. So an example, when we did a nominee directors, appointment of directors, this was the transaction that happened for this particular trace number document. So similarly, this document will also be stored under what we call your global documents. So if you recall, when JX is going through the whole navigation toolbar, this is one of the big features. And the big difference for this particular feature is that it shows to you not just 18 August company, but it shows other companies as well. So all the documents that you have processed for across all companies will be stored under your global documents. So depending how you want to navigate, you can either, let's say, if you want to just go specifically or searching for a specific company, you can always go into the profile of the company and just go straight to documents to see, oh, how many documents or what are the documents I've processed for this specific company. Now, for global global documents, on the other hand, it will show to you all the documents that that you have processed. This is particularly useful, especially, for example, if you want to know how many registrable controllers that you've processed across all companies or annual returns that you have processed across all companies, you'll be able to view it here as well. So here we have like the filters. If you're using your digital signing, you've linked it up as well. You can actually filter based on all the documents that are electronically signed by the documents. So we're doing a bit of an improvement on the document alerts as well. And what's great about in your global documents is that we have this function called advanced filter. So let's say if you're looking for a particular document, let's say, or if I click on a file, financial statement based on the file name, it will show to you a file name based on your keyword. Now, in your search, you can also select what we call advanced filter. So you can filter them based on a company. Let's say 18 August. I just want to see 18 August company, or let's say I have another firm and a CAS 360. I want to see all those companies, all the documents for these two firms. I can click apply the filter, and this will show all the documents I prepare for these two companies. So advanced filter, you can based on whether an agent, document type. Let's say you want to filter based on all the annual return documents I've processed. You can click on that, apply filter. It will show to you all your annual returns. So what's also great about the advanced filter is when you're actually stacking your filter. Let's say I want, so I've put in my annual return documents and I want to know all the annual return documents that has been, for example, manually filed, which means that you have filed directly with ACRA, for example. So you can just simply click apply the filter, and this will display all the annual returns that has the status as manually filed. Now, if you want to save this filter, you can go to your advanced and click save filter. So AR, let's say I will name this field as AR manually filed with ACRA. So that in the future, when you want to do a global search in your global documents, instead of having to select your filters, let's say you're in this page, you can simply go to advanced filter and select save filter. So here I can just say, let's say annual return manually filed with ACRA and apply the filter. This will filter based on my stack filter types. So in both global documents as well and company documents. So we're going to go back to the company documents. So depending on how you use it, you can go to global or company. So in company documents as well, you can use those filters. Now, both global documents and company documents have the ability to allow you to create your folder. So, for example, let's say all the documents that I want that have prepared for 2025, financial year 2025. Let's say all the copies of ACRAS, a filing, your financial statement, all that, you can add them all into this folder. So I'm just going to show you quickly. Let's say I will just add some multiple templates or multiple documents that we have. So you can add as many documents in this into this folder, and you can set, let's say, the status as document, maybe document received, document processed. If you know that you already processed all these documents or received it from the client, document received, then you can just click save. So this time, this one, if you want to view this folder, you can simply click on the actions and select attachment. This will allow you to view all the document files that you have uploaded into this folder. So sitting in your both global documents and company documents, when you received your signed documents, as a good practice is that always update the documents in your action. So for example, over here, I have a company name change. If I already had a signed copy from my client, I can simply go to my action, select attachments. So this, you can see, this is the copy that we have exported out earlier. You can either drag or drop or just browse. Let's say this is signed document. So I'm just gonna quickly change one of the name over here. Let's assume this is already signed. All right. And I'll just upload it here. And you can see the signed documents is right over there. It's already stored into that document folder, so it's easy for you to see and close. So because I've already received the signed documents, the next step that I wanted to do is making sure that I have updated the status. So I can just document received. So you have different options over here. So you can document prepare, process. If you're using digital signing, you can see that they have automated for digital signing. We're going to cover this on level 2. Send for review, signed by client. So I have this option signed by client already. Click save. This will update the status of the document. So this is a good practice as well for you when you're managing your signed documents, uploading it back to the software to keep track of where the status of the document. So again, under actions, you can see that this time around, we're going to select the history, and this will show to me this document has been prepared and at this time and this date, and this document has been signed at this time, at this date. So with the documents, both global documents and company documents, it allows you to keep track of the status of the document, view what's attached into the document by clicking attachments. If you have any additional comments, you can add it in here as well. Changing the status, you know that you've already processed this document, for example, or let's say this document that you have processed, you want to void that, for example, click save. It's not voided, so it will show to you as in your history that this document has been voided. So I'll give you an example of the ones in digital signing. You can see that the ones that digitally DocuSign sent to client, or if the beauty of digital signing is that instead of having to change the status automatically, the digital signing platforms will send you the signed copy and store it automatically into your attachments. So we'll talk about this a bit more in level 2. But I just want to show to you the convenience of using the digital signing as a user. And you can see that in my history, it will also update to me that when I sent it and when it was signed by all the clients who needs to sign the document. So lastly, in your actions, there's a couple of other features as well in your documents. So for example, this particular document over here, if it's still status as prepared, you haven't received anything from the client, you can always send a document reminder to remind the client again about this document, or add automatic reminders, like what we've seen in your document production. So I always encourage you, as a user, always explore the action field that's allow you to manage both your global documents and your company documents. All right, so any questions so far for your global and company documents? All right. Now, before we start, I just also want to cover something really useful and important, especially when you're processing your annual returns in future, and also your which is linked to your registrable controllers and nominee shareholders. Now, as JX mentioned earlier about the lodgements, you can add in your agents into your settings under your lodgement agent settings. And generally for Singapore, you want to set up your company's corpus, because this is what ACRA is tracking, who's the lodgement agent based on a corpus. And you want to also make sure when you're setting up a new company on board or onboarded a new company, either via Excel or so on, when you click on the company under general details, you can assign a registered filing agent. So by default in the system, it will automatically assume that the location of the register kept for registrable controller, nominee shareholders, and nominee director will be in the location of your registered filing agent. In order for that to display in your annual returns, which we're going to cover on Thursday, is to make sure that you have assigned a registered filing agent. And also make sure that you've also updated your company dates as well. All right. So any questions so far on the topic? All right. So I'm just gonna quickly put my screen over here. I hope everybody can see my screen. All right. Now, before we end this session for level 1, any questions so far for level 1? All right. If there's no questions, thank you so much for joining us for the level 1 session. For those of you who hasn't registered for the level 2 session, you can register through the MyBGL portal. If you recall where JX go through the MyBGL portal, it's at your app switcher. Click on the app switcher and select MyBGL and click training. This is to help you register for the next upcoming training on Thursday for level 2. So level 2, we're going to cover more on the advanced feature, including your annual returns and multi-company change and document customization basics of that features. All right. Thank you, everyone, and have a great evening ahead.